Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a Lobby game. A patron of mine sent me this replay to falconpaladin@gmail.com, subject of Patreon. He's a $10 a month level, which means he can send me any replay once a month, and I will cast it for him on the main channel, no questions asked. So this is a bonus replay for your Friday. Usually I don't cast replays for Friday, but here we have TREF and ChunkMonk on Neo Sylphid. Top side, it's going to be a Protoss player. He is olive-ish, maybe light green. It's going to be TREF. And on the right side, it's going to be a Terran player. It is ChunkMonk. Now, these two players are brothers. The email says they play once a week because his brother has a new baby, and they are definitely amateurs. So, let's see how amateur they're going to be here, how much fun they're going to have. And playing Brood War with your brother or family is pretty much the best it gets in video gaming, right? Right. Okay, so no probe scouting from TREF, no SCV scouting here from ChunkMonk. That's okay, it's a 3-player map. You can find your opponent very easily if you want to, and scouting is important, especially at the lower levels, but I don't know, maybe they know each other so well that they don't need to scout, right? Gateway opening here from TREF. Are we going to scout with this, Mr. Steve the SCV? Nope, just going to build a barracks. Nice. Good timing there on that barracks, Mr. ChunkMonk. I have no idea which one of these players is the patron of mine, so I'm going to be nice to both of them. Steve the SCV moving out. Steve the SCV t-shirts at falconpaladin.store for all of your merch needs. Anywho, yeah, just kind of two lower level players. I did do a game between two brothers that was very similar to this last month, I think. It was a ton of fun. We had just a poor Terran player who had a really tough time with it, a Zerg player who was probably a little bit better. But I think we got Guardians in that game. We got some really crazy stuff. Wraiths. It was just nuts. And that's what's kind of fun about these lower level games sometimes. Is some of you guys, this SCV has kind of got stuck scouting here, didn't he? But on that previous cast, a lot of you people are like, yeah, do one of these every once in a while. It's nice. Like, don't make it every cast ever, is all these Lobby stuff. But every once in a while, throw one into the rotation. And about once a month is what we're at right now. So I think that's fine. Gas coming up from TREF like that. Extractor already done from ChunkMonk. Very good stuff. And basically a marine out for safety and probably a factory up next. What's this going to be? Supply depot and factory timing now. I see you. And it is a factory. Nice. So yeah, ChunkMonk knows what's up here. He understands that mech is going to be way better against Protoss than marines are going to be, even firebats. Although there is a bit of a timing with marine firebat medic where you can kill a Protoss before they get reavers out, before they get storm out. We'll see. I mean, we're not going to see it in this game, obviously, because the fast factory implies that's not what's happening here. These marines are for defense. Honestly, ChunkMonk, I'd recommend a bunker in this situation. That's what the pros do against their Protoss opponents, is a bunker up, because Dragoons that show up and start trying to fire away on your stuff, if there's a bunker set up, it does keep them away, at least until Dragoon range starts and finishes, and then by that point, you should have something out of your factory, like a siege tank, to shut it down. Anywho, I like the SCV scout. Sees, okay, not getting cannon rush. This is a gateway opening. He doesn't have a quick, fast nexus either, so that's good to know. So maybe he's going to one-base me. Maybe he's going to expand as soon as my SCV leaves, which is exactly what happens here. 100%. Nexus coming in as soon as the SCV bails on the scouting, because he has to, because there's a couple zealots out. It's fine. All right, cool. So Dragoon production has begun here from TREF. On the other side, is this another factory? It is. Still not expanding here. ChunkMonk, which seems like a bit of an issue, but again, he's a bit worried this is a one-base opening and attack from TREF, so expanding yourself's a little bit dangerous, but ChunkMonk says, nah, I know TREF, I know my brother. He's probably not going to one-base me, right? Everybody has their tendencies. The professionals have fewer tendencies than the lower-level players do. Like, a lot of players will have one build per matchup, right? Like, every time they play a PvP, they're going to cannon rush. Or every time it's a ZVT, they're going to pool first and try to kill the Terran with lings fast. However, when you're playing against somebody consistently, a practice partner, or someone you just play with for fun, they're going to get wise to your tendencies. And then you can be in trouble, because if you only have one thing or two things you like to do, they can prepare for those two things and then you die. But both players seem pretty afraid to move out at this stage, which, interesting, speaks to their past games. For sure. What do we got? Marines up. Once again, no bunker here is a little bit problem for our dude. Right? I'd like to see a bunker here, but he doesn't need it. So, I mean, what are we even worried about here, friends? What are we worried about in this land of a lower level StarCraft? Nothing. Nothing, I would argue. Nothing even a little bit. Third factory coming in. Love this stuff. Getting speed for vultures. Vulture opening. Yeah. That indicates a little bit of a more experienced player. I think lower level players are like, siege tanks. Hurry, siege tanks. We're going to die if there aren't siege tanks. Main art transfer to the natural base from ChunkMonk. Siege tanks are great, and they are great in the hands of lower level players especially. But I like this from ChunkMonk. He's like, nah, man, we're going to get vultures first. So what I would recommend is getting vultures running around and scouting and throwing down spider mines everywhere and just being a total pain in the Protoss's backside. And also, I mean, move these Dragoons out. Like, try to get some pressure on. Honestly, a couple Zealots and a few Dragoons could honestly win this right here. Kill 3 Marines, kill a couple Vultures. Seems doable to me, honestly. Maybe a couple more Dragoons to feel incredibly safe on that attack, and Zealots being produced instead. That's okay. Cannon. Yeah, both players are just sitting back, relaxing in the sun. It's a beautiful sight. Neo Sylphid. Ooh, pretty fast starport. And a science facility here, too. So ChunkMonk knows what's up. Both players are spending their cash pretty effectively. I mean, they're around 200 minerals apiece. Neither of them are supply blocked. Both of them are about 30 workers. I like this. TREF needs to get a third base, like, now. Because your Terran opponent is on 2 bases, and if you're on 2 bases and your Terran opponent is on 2 bases, you're going to have a bad time. But yeah, no spider mines and no siege tanks. Ah, siege tank pops out. Means that Protoss really should be able to push and win with this army. But however, siege tank here, and it's got siege mode. And spider mines is getting researched, and that doesn't take that long. Not too long to do. Third base. Yes! Third base from TREF coming up. Love it, TREF. Like it a lot. +1 attack coming in for the Protoss. Also a big fan of that stuff. Any sign of armor? Yeah, armory under construction here for the Terran. Holy cannoli, it's going to be a vulture drop. I love this idea. Vulture dropping into the main base behind this mineral line. There's nobody in position to stop this from happening at all. I worry he's going to come into the natural, but there is a cannon and a couple Dragoons to assist with defending it. Just swinging around into the main base would be a lot more damaging, but we will see, won't we? Yes, we will. Observatory coming in. He's worried about the spider mine. Smart stuff. He's going to unload in the natural. I was worried about this. Really? Okay, hang on. Maybe not. Maybe taking a couple hits. Changes his mind. Changes his course of action. Cruise. Yeah, good probe pull, actually. TREF saw it coming. He's no dummy. He saw these vultures coming in. Loses a single probe. Oh, laying spider mines, too. Oh, gosh. Ah, Dragoon down. Okay, could have been worse. Totally sucks still, though. Pick him up. Pick up the vulture. Get out of there. One more spider mine, says the vulture. Just kidding. One more spider mine, and I'm going to die. Come on, come on. Get in range of the spider mine, says ChunkMonk. Do it. Do it. Ah, they're not in range of the spider mine. Annoying stuff. So drops, man. Good. Ooh, getting down right about here would be good. He's going to drop in range of the cannons, and this vulture's going to die. Or, you know, fly over the cannons, and the vulture dies, too. That works as well. Spider mine. Ah! Dragoon down. This guy's severely injured. I like it. I like the spider mine shenanigans here. Being active with your vultures is awesome. So far, ChunkMonk doing that stuff. Starport does exist. Has he made a science vessel yet? No. He's not made a science vessel yet. He's had some ideas for it, though. He's considering it anyway. Turret's coming up. He's worried about getting maybe recalled on, or maybe a drop shows up with some shuttles. There is a robotics facility, but it's kind of pumping out observers right now. Is TREF. Just, he's like, I really need detection. Thank you very much. Finally building a science vessel. 2 of them, actually. ChunkMonk. Ooh, a scan. A scan. What did we scan? Something. Somewhere. I missed it. Dang it. Missed the scan. We'll try to catch the next one. More factories in production from the Terran player. And so far, everything's working out, right? 3 bases for the Protoss. 2 bases for the Terran. Maybe ChunkMonk setting up for a third base as Bone. I'm here at about 9 minutes. Both players extremely worried about moving out. I don't know if they both have bad experiences of moving out and then kind of getting an army swooping around from the other side and killing your base, and then you can't quite kill your opponent's base. It was not even a base trade scenario, and you feel bad, and you just never want to move out again, you know? That's what you're worried about. More factories in production, working on armory upgrades. Loving to see that from ChunkMonk. Factory working on further upgrades. Now that +1 attack is done, +1 armor is coming in next. And yeah, if you enjoy kind of the lower level games, feel free to tune in to the Sunday stream. I mean, we definitely have higher level games in there. Professional stuff RJB sends us. Really high level FME is in there too, but sometimes people want to send me replays where they're, you know, D rank, E rank, F rank, just kind of having fun on ladder, and they like when we cast their games too. So if you want more of that, check it out. Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, here on this channel. It's the Falcon Brood War stream. It's a good time. Command center floating up here to this third base. I'm really tempted to ×2 this thing just because they're not moving out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ×2 on the replay speed until somebody actually makes some kind of an attack on somebody else. Yes, that vulture attack was harassment. It wasn't really an attack. I wouldn't say any kind of an official attack anyway. That's fine. It's fine. It's worse for the Protoss, though, because you really want to make sure the tank count doesn't get crazy high for the Terran player, and ChunkMonk really working on making his tank count crazy high. EMP getting research tier 2 spellcasters in this game. All right. All right, all right. Templar Archives coming in here too. Some High Templar with Storm might be in the future as well. Is TREF actually doing it? 12 minutes. For the first time, he makes a move out. There are some tanks in a position he can't really get to. Spider Mine's on this ramp. He's not bringing... Oh, he did bring his Observer with him. Nice. All right. Well, Observer, good. Observer pulling back, not dying to a missile turret. And not just A-moving into his death here. I love that from TREF. A lower level player than TREF would have just A-moved up this little ramp thing through this choke, I guess. I don't know. People tell me this isn't high ground, but, like, it acts like high ground. It's a different color. There's a ramp leading up to... I don't know. It's just weird, man. I don't know if there's anything like this in any other map that I've ever seen. Did he get Observer speed? Holy double Stargate Order Tribunal. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do an experiment here in a minute. As TREF moving his army across the map. 139 supply for TREF. 1-1 upgrades. Looking good. He says, I got 1-1. It's time to go. Let's get 1-1 and plasma shields for a 1-1-1 experience that Terran cannot hope to reproduce ever. Spider Mines. Zealots are eating the Spider Mines, but that's not good because we need them to kill the siege tanks, man. Ooh, might expand over here, TREF. He's got an eye on it anyway. Spider Mine. Chase, 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 chase. Ow! Big hit on all of these zealots. Killing one on the far side of the group. He must have been already previously very injured for that to happen. Splash damage is weird in StarCraft sometimes. So Storm's on the way. EMPs already exist with the Science Vessels. A solid EMP can really turn the tide in battle. It's not as flashy as a Psionic Storm is, obviously, but that's okay. That's totally fine. It's a weird place to hang out from TREF. I could just making sure a fourth base isn't easy for ChunkMonk. Yeah, wall off against vulture attacks, and then come down here and take a fourth base in the left side expander spawn location. I like it. I'm a fan. God, these zealots are just... Ooh, Spider-Mine doesn't even fire on that guy. He dies too fast. Brutal. Brutality. And then vultures come in. They're like, ooh, we can lay Spider-Mines on these. I'm not even trying to do that. Okay. Never mind. No Spider-Mine attempt there whatsoever. Just Dragoons murdering vultures as they do. Siege tank across on a bridge. This siege tank is dead. The rest of these tanks are not dead. I don't know. Vultures, join the party. Dragoons trying to get into the minimum attack range, but ow. Yeah, Dragoons, when there are this many siege tanks, it's tough to get that close to that many siege tanks. A lot of Dragoon blood here. Mucho, mucho, mucho Dragoon blood here. Boom, 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 boom. Couple Dragoons down here fighting against Siege Tank Vulture. Not exactly what they want to be doing, but they don't really have any commands otherwise, you know? Boom, 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 boom. Wow, he's already mined out this third base. Had a lot of probes there. His natural base still has a ton of minerals at it, and his main base too. That was a fast mine out, so I guess he has 58 probes. That's a big part of it. I'm not going to say no to that, actually. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Yeah, so just, I don't know. Protoss getting in here. The siege tank count isn't really getting whittled down. A lot of Zealots are dying. A lot of Dragoons are just taking big-time hits here, too, from these siege tanks. They got 2-2 upgrades, which is just tough to break with your 2-1-1 Dragoons, I guess. I mean, further upgrades are on the way. TREF has not forgotten about those. And then Vulture's trying to attack down here, but that's what this cannon wall is for, right? Oh, the transferring probe train! No! No, 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 no. There are so many probes trying to come down here, and the Vultures are just happily eating them up. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, boy. Well, it's 41 workers now from TREF. He was at 58, 57 a second ago. I think I highlighted how many workers he had. And then bad things occurred all the way around for this guy. Vultures are trying to take down this attempt at a 5th base, as the 4th base is happily running. Not as many probes as TREF wishes were here, though. That might be the moment of the match, ladies and gentlemen. That might be it. 41 to 45 workers. Terran players up in economy. On worker count, anyway. I mean, that is just brutal to try to deal with. However, TREF is trying to get his own game-changing play with these Arbiters. Come on, Arbiters. He's waiting for a recall, though, I guess. That's the play right now. Waiting for that recall ability. Did these Vultures just kill? They just killed a Nexus. Man. Gonna bring us Siege Tank over to try to break this little cannon setup. So he does. Tank sieges. Well, bam. Alright. Just wait. Guys, just wait. The Vultures are like, we don't want to wait. We want to die to cannons. Why can't we die to cannons, Mom? TREF's up 170 to 164 supply. He's got 212 upgrades. He's continuing to actually not work on further upgrades for those dudes, but recall counts as an ability, and that's coming in here as well. Arbiters heading over this way. Are they going to try to save this base, or are they going to try to be aggressive with that recall? I guess it's going to be a saving scenario here from TREF. I mean, there's a lot of Dragoons here. I don't know that they need help. Oh, good stasis on the siege tanks, though. And now these Dragoons can come up and clear this out. Really no problem before too many of their probes die. Although, yeah, Vultures are not going to target fire probes on their own, that's for sure. So nice. Beautifully done. I'm going to wait for the stasis to wear off. Can kill that stuff, no problem. Now, ChunkMonk got a third base at a good time. He needs a fourth base too. Maybe here. Honestly, maybe here. He's going to have to get TREF out of here before he can take it, though. Waiting for the stasis to wear off. Again, I feel like even Protoss wouldn't complain if stasis duration were turned down a little bit, but it is futile. Absolutely futile to talk about balance changes in StarCraft. It's never happening. Game is what it is. Stasis wears off. Siege tanks die. No problem. Bum, bum. But yeah, hope you're enjoying this bonus Friday cast. Ooh, ChunkMonk's going to try to do this. Losing a Science Festival in the process. Does get an EMP off, though. Siege Tank's doing a lot better against EMP Dragoons, no doubt about that, but not quite enough to deal with this sheer amount of them. One more hit? Nah, not one more hit. Dragoons holding this high ground. It is theirs now, nobody else's. TREF trying to come down this ramp. Tough to do. Defending the high ground, yes. Coming down a ramp, harder for sure. Good storms all over this mech here, too. I gotta say, I think ChunkMonk might have this game. Okay, but finally enough tanks show up. Ba-bam. All right, now I think ChunkMonk can expand over here. That would be good. But yeah, if I had to place a bet here, I think ChunkMonk has this. I just think Terran mech is harder for Protoss to break than the other way around. I know Artosis will tell you that Protoss is better. Nice recall, by the way, down south here in the natural base of ChunkMonk. TREF getting some work done. SCVs largely trying to evacuate. I'm not sure. Oh, this guy is going. I don't know where that guy was going. He's dead, though. Then another recall. Yep, just a baby recall here inside the main base, too. Taking out a single supply depot, going after more of those. Is going to put ChunkMonk on, you know, just on awareness here. Going to lose the natural base. That command center is going to die. The science vessel's wandered in here, too. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just totally jinxed this. Maybe ChunkMonk is in a tough spot. He's still up in overall supply. Nope, he's down in overall supply. I lied. Yeah, man. Zealots. Zealot versus Vulture. Not a bad fight. Arbiter getting sniped by Charon boosted Goliaths with 3 upgrades. They will take down an Arbiter all day long. TREF retaking his 5th base here on the left side. Again, the 3rd base got mined out so fast. His natural base is mined out. His main base is mined out. He's really just mining from a couple bases here. He's got a decent bank. So does ChunkMonk. Yeah, TREF is putting the pressure on. If he comes over from this way, too, this might just cause ChunkMonk to fumble and fall apart here. It happens, man. It happens under pressure. All of us. It happens to me. I think only the best of the best StarCraft players don't get flustered when this kind of thing happens, where you get recalled twice, and then you get an attack over here, and then you get an attack over here, and you feel like you can never stabilize. And it's just terrible. And this, like, stuff like this just kind of makes you hate the game, you know? But you keep coming back because the challenge is just too much to ignore, and ChunkMonk's stabilizing a little bit, but by golly, does he need more income. I guess he's sitting on 5,000 minerals. He has a bit of time. He did take this base, too. Let's not ignore this right side 4th base that he's taken. Definitely not. A few Arbiters hanging out up here inside TREF's base. More recalls, you know, would be good. If 2 or 3 recalls was nice, 4 or 5 recalls is just better. Not going to argue that point. Not even a little bit. 131 to 118 total supply. TREF is up. He's got a better economy. He's got a bigger economy anyway. He's probably going to expand up to this high ground, kind of top left corner base too, which is a nice one to expand to. Little tiny ramp you have to defend. It's all good. Yeah, man. And then 2-1-2 upgrades on these Dragoons. Ton of gateways over at this left side base just in case the main base dies. But ChunkMonk hasn't really established he's been able to move out all that much. He's been defending fairly effectively. But, he catches some Arbiters by accident over here on the left side with his drop attempt. And he has to come back home and be like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. It is going to catch him, EMP him. Did he catch him with the EMP? No! One of them, yes. The other one, no. Somehow, some way. Oh, he EMPs again, catches both of them. Energy-less Arbiters. Actually just killed a Goliath. That shouldn't really ever happen. Oh, good stasis on these tanks. High ground. Dragoons getting up this ramp into this fourth base up. ChunkMonk, ChunkMonk, no! ChunkMonk, I jinxed you. This is your really newest only source of income, and it's in a bad place right now. These Arbiters are still alive despite having no energy at all. They're fleeing from this the Goliath, I suppose. Okay, ChunkMonk down to 21 workers. He's going to lose another CC here, and I think TREF has just pulled this off. Yeah, ChunkMonk kind of was unable to really move out and threaten any of TREF's bases in 27 minutes, and that's just not a recipe for victory. You got to be able to be aggressive on some level in StarCraft, or it's really tough to win. I mean, the Vulture harass was nice. I mean, this is our thing. This is the thing that ChunkMonk is putting his eggs into this basket. He's going to lose that dropship entirely before it unloads anything. All right, so 3 siege tanks make it over here. Better than nothing. Okay, 2 siege tanks make it over here. Better than nothing. Going to try to kill some of these probes, even as the right side base is entirely wiped out. 138 to 71 total supply. Bunch of Zealots wandering down. Some probes die from TREF. He's still at 39, though, and looks pretty good compared to the 17 SCVs. Yeah, and that siege tank's got 3 kills, but not exactly what he was going for there. Didn't really unload out of range of cannons at all. That's why you put cannons in your bases, is in case your opponent decides to drop right on top of them. It's nice. Arbiter, maybe setting up for another recall into the main base. See you, or maybe a stasis to getting tossed down. Yeah, this is bad. ChunkMonk has no income at all. 5,000 minerals in the bank, 600 gas. Another EMP. Some really nice EMPs from ChunkMonk today. I gotta say I'm impressed with those, but yeah. He just needs to start making stuff. More siege tanks, more vultures. You got 5,000 minerals, 600 gas, and 79 out of 156 total supply. You're not supply blocked. Always be producing if you can. See how TREF is making Dragoons and Zealots right now and getting a Plasma Shield upgrade? Your production tab is empty, sir. I don't know if you are so demoralized that you've decided that you're just going to hang out and just wait for death to come. Something I've done before myself. Really can't. I can relate to it, I guess. I can't complain too much if that's how you're feeling, I guess is the point. Yeah, vultures just aren't going to do it. I appreciate your making stuff. That's good, man. Vultures are pretty good, but they really need some siege tanks if they're going to pull this off. The observer says, a ton of vultures. I can probably handle that. That's not a huge problem. Finally expanding to this high ground top left side is TREF. That's going to be just game-ending stuff here. A lot of time game-ending is an attack in StarCraft Brood War, but sometimes it's an expansion too. Sometimes it's an expansion that just puts one player so far ahead of the other player economically that it's tough to come back from. Chunk is really going Arbiters and Vultures here, just not adding tanks at all. He's now out of gas, so adding some tanks is going to be darn impossible. He's trying to, I think, float over here and take this base, but Arbiters are just sharking around this dead airspace. This Goliath finally, oh my gosh. Oh, finally takes out an Arbiter, gets recalled on top of. Yeah, science vessel dies. It's cool. Worker count 14 from ChunkMonk. Vultures just not great fighters in this situation. Another Goliath in his just desperate pursuit of Arbiters is going to get wiped out. That's not good. Yeah, and I mean, look at these guys. 3-1, 3 upgrades. It's so hard for Vultures to get through that. They killed one of the Dragoons, but everything here for ChunkMonk died. He's at 95 supply. He's got enough money to keep making Vultures, but Vultures are not what he needs. He needs tanks. You need both in a traditional PvT, but if you're Vultures for the Zealots and tanks for the Dragoons, we know how this works, don't we? We do. Ricola. Yeah, and I think that's going to be your GG. Look how good the siege tanks are doing. I mean, it didn't save your command center, but that's okay. Could be worse. It's just, yeah, it's not even that you necessarily have the perfect composition here from TREF. It's just that you have more stuff. It's 164 to 48 supply. The Protoss player is up. He's just kind of A-moving here. He's got his Dragoons. He's got his Zealots. ChunkMonk throws out a good game, man. And, man, as soon as I said ChunkMonk was going to win this game, that's when the tide turned. And TREF is our winner in 32 minutes and 54 seconds. That was quite an experience for sure. Yeah, definitely amateurs. I would say ChunkMonk, I'm just going to reiterate, I think the problem for ChunkMonk today was he never really managed to get aggressive with his tanks or his Vultures today. He got aggressive once with his Vultures, killed a couple probes, maybe a couple Dragoons, one tank drop that killed 3 or 4 probes, and that was it. You really got to be able to get your tanks together, Vultures protecting them, move up, move up, move up. If the enemy comes to stop you, siege up. Once they leave, unsiege, move up, move up, move up. Try to siege here. This is a really good place to siege on this map. You can threaten 2 bases at the same time. Reinforcements coming out of the main have to deal with a giant tank army down here, but not even really attempted from ChunkMonk today. If you're going to drop also, maybe go for a bigger drop, but maybe don't park right on top of cannons. Maybe over here is a better place to set up initially or down here. That might have been in range of the cannons anyway, though. Who knows? Anyway, good game. That was fun. That was definitely a really fun PvT between 2 people who definitely are familiar with each other, which is always excellent. So good. Good, good, good. Let's go ahead and pow. Check out our final score. It's going to be 154,000 points to 192 in favor of TREF. Similar number of units produced. TREF killed about 50 more units than ChunkMonk did, and that's going to be pretty much the big deal. And then outspent the Terran player by a full 12,000 resources in 32 minutes, more bases. Everything was better overall. So, well done. Really well done there by TREF. Better luck next time, ChunkMonk. And that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.